first of all, Ronnie Atkins, this is here 2022. Welcome back once again to Finland.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And there's been lots of going on your life recently, but I think we start with the positive things, and one of the really positive things is that you are here with Avantasia.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case like 6 months ago.
Nope. I mean, actually, to be honestly, after all the shit and disease I've been going through the last 3 years, because the cancer thing, that I found out during the last part of the last Avantasia tour, so when I said goodbye to those guys and in Munich where I had to go home, I never thought I would see them again, to be honestly. So in that context, yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm just happy to be back on the road, actually, because I didn't take that for granted 2 years ago, so here I am, heads up, legs down.
So how does it feel to be back on stage with Avantasia now?
It's great. I mean, we just did 2 gigs in Spain, so now we got this little Scandinavian kind of run, and we got to do festivals throughout the summer. It's great. It's like it's basically like we played yesterday, So I mean, it's a good band, It's good to see them again, It's good friends of mine, They've been very supportive through the last 2-3 years for me as well, So
it's like a big family.
It's like a big family. I mean, there's a great chemistry. I mean, there's no ego shit or anything like that. You think there was with so many different singers and stuff like that, But no, there's no ego. It really is. We're having a real good time. We're really having it.
So did you have a chance to be a part of the upcoming Avantasia album?
Officially, it's not official, but I've sang a song like a year and a half ago, so I guess it's on the album. But I think the album's coming out in September or something, But I'm on it,
Yeah, you are part of it.
I'm a part of it, yeah.
Great. So what's also been on the map recently, what I was also witnessing in Stockholm a couple of weeks ago, is you played your first solo shows ever.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing.
That is what?
It's an amazing thing after all these years.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm happy to be able to do it, I just wanted to get back out on the road, So we just did like 5 shows, and the first gig was in Stockholm, this little club, very little stage and everything, but it's a good band, great musicians, and it was just great for me being out there playing some of my own songs, because that was just a dream I had. And I hope I'll be able to do more in the fall. Right now it's very difficult to find a venue to book gigs because of the whole Corona thing. All the tours that's been pushed. But we're aiming for it. But find gigs, find technicians, road crew is fucking. They left the business. A lot of people, and even finding a tour bus, a nightliner is difficult these days.
I heard that actually the biggest problem for middle-sized and smaller bands is to find the tour buses.
It is. It's really difficult. Everything is very complicated right now. And particularly traveling this summer, I mean, airports are chaotic. So, but I hope we'll do some gigs in the fall, in Europe and maybe Scandinavia as well, So, I mean, let's see.
Overall, within like 18 months, you released 2 albums, solo albums. Was it something you always wanted to do, or was it you did it because now you have the time?
Well, I didn't really have any plans to do so. I always wrote a lot of music, and I saved it, and some of it I could use for Pretty Maids, and some I couldn't, So it was kind of, for me, it was kind of the therapy to get out of a very bad situation, It kind of kept me alive, kept me going. So that's why I did it, and I couldn't do anything else, really. So I was very productive, actually, for a while. Now I'm taking a break. I also did a new Nordic Union album coming out in August, right? So I've had enough to do. Now I'm focusing on playing live at the time, yeah.
So once the solo albums are out, how happy you are with the results?
I'm very happy for the albums because they are what they are. It's not really. There's a little metal on it, but it's more like melodic rock. That's what I wanted to do. I'm a big pop fan too. I'm just a fan of a good melody. That's always been the essential thing for me. The most important thing is to have a good hook line, catchy top line, and stuff like that. So I'm happy, and I'm happy for the reception of them. I mean, those albums are lyrically, they're more personal and reflecting for obvious reasons, I guess. So in that way, they're a little different from what I normally do. But the great thing is that I had a great relationship with Chris Laney, who produced it, and we're musically on the same page, kind of thing, So we understand each other. So it was a nice collaboration, but it's still going. But I'm very happy for it. You know, it's just I'm my own boss here. You know, so don't have to argue with anyone.
So I was going to ask, how was the writing process different this time compared to the Pretty Maids stuff?
It was different because I was doing it myself. You know, I wrote on a piano or I wrote on a guitar. Sometimes you get the melody first, and then you find some chords to underline it. You know, put it underneath it, and so I mean, there was no stress really. It just came very natural. You know, and I had a lot of ideas. I still got like 450 ideas on my iPhone. You know, just bits and pieces and stuff like that. You know, which is cool. You know, because sometimes it's difficult to pick it up. You know, pick up old ideas, but sometimes you can use some of it as a bridge or for a chorus or a verse or whatever, you know. So that's the way it works. But the best thing is when you start on something fresh and you more or less get it done.
So
while you
how is it different to Nordic Union writing?
Well, Nordic Union is not really. I mean, it's basically Eric Martinson's songs. You know, I just wrote this on this album. I just wrote like lyrics for 2 songs and a little of the melody in one of them. But it's basically his thing. You know, I mean, that's how it started. I said from the beginning regarding Nordic Union that I didn't want to be a part of the songwriting because I wanted to concentrate on Pretty Maids at the time. This is 2015, 15. So I just wrote some lyrics for it for the first 2 albums and stuff, you know, and a little bit on this new one. But the new album is, I would say, it's quite heavier than the first 2 albums, you know, which I thought was cool. You know, it's more up tempo and it really rocks. I got to say that. I mean, I really seriously think it's the best one we've done so far, you know. So, but I'm excited to see how people will react to it. But it's still melodic, but it's more up tempo, more guitar.
More modern, maybe.
I don't know if it's modern actually. I think some of the stuff is maybe pretty old school, 80s kind of stuff, you know. But it's great, you know. A good song is a good song. Yeah. And Eric Martinson's a great songwriter. That's it. You know? He's a writing machine, you know.
He's a huge fan of the 80s stuff.
Yeah, he is, and you can hear it. And I like it too, so it's a good combo.
Speaking about the Pretty Maids situation, is there anything going on?
No, not at the moment. I think people are doing their individual projects. There's been some issues within the band that hasn't been sorted out, and as long as they're not sorted out, nothing is going on. And I don't know if it's going to happen again. I don't know. But the band officially exists, but we haven't met for 3 years or something like that.
So you are saying that there is not going to be any more shows in the future?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that right now there's no plans for anything. You know, I know Ken is working on another project, and I'm doing my thing. And some of the other guys are in other bands and stuff too, you know. So I don't know. I mean, we had a good run, you know. We've been doing this for 40 years. I think it's fair enough if people want to do something else, you know.
I would say if it's the end, the latest album you made, that was a great grand finale. Is it so?
Yeah, Avantasia Madness is a good album. The stupid thing about it is, and that was really very frustrating for everybody, because just before it came out, I got sick. And we had a whole tour lined up in January 2020 that we had to cancel because I was having chemo and all that kind of crap, radiation therapy. So that was very frustrating for everybody, and that kind of spoiled a lot of things, of course, you know. But then the corona came along, and we wouldn't have been able to tour anyway for 2 years, you know. So, but let's see in the future. I think all of us, one way or the other, would love to go out and do a couple of shows, maybe, you know. But let's see what happens. You never know, and and I don't even know about my own situation. I'm living in intervals of 3 months, you know, from scan to scan. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. You know, I never know what they're going to tell me next time I turn up. You know, I feel okay now, but it can happen pretty fast sometimes. You know, the red lights has been flashing a couple of times. You know. They didn't find anything. The last 2 years, I've been cancer-free, so to speak. It's still there. I got a metastasis in my bones, you know, so it spread to the bone marrow, which is very bad. But I had immune therapy for 2 years, so that's probably why I'm still here. You know. Now I'm not getting any treatments, but I'm just saying that the future is very unpredictable.
Right. So at the moment, do you have any pains?
I have some pain issues, constant pain issues, but I get like 20 pills a day, you know, to keep it under control. It's nerve damage from the surgery and all the radiation therapy, you know. Everything comes with a price.
Right.
But as I said, I'm alive.
That's the main thing. Speaking about Pretty Maids, one really cool thing happened a couple of months ago when your huge fan Ozzy put out that great book.
Yeah.
Tell something about that.
Well, she's been working on that book. I mean, we've known Ossie for, I think I've known her for 30 years or something like that. You know, she's been a great follower of the band. I also know her on a personal basis, you know. So she's a good girl, and she's very, very dedicated and hardcore fan of the band, you know. And I think she probably knows more about the band than I do. But of course, we helped out. Me and Ken helped out, and the old band members as well. You know, everybody kind of contributed to it. You know, with interviews and stuff. But she's done a hell of a lot of research and traveled around Europe, you know, to do this book. And she's been working on it for 7 years or something like that. She asked us back then if we were okay with the fact that if she wrote a book about the band, and we said, yeah, go ahead. And so now, last year it finally came out. Yeah. It's good. It's well done. I mean, it's a lot of pictures and stuff. So there's pictures in there that I've never seen before. Yeah. So I don't know where you got it from.
You have the book. You know, it's
I mean, for a Pretty Maids fan, for a hardcore fan, you got to have that book. You know, it's a lot of information in it and stuff like that.
And then when the book came out, you had that kind of reunion with the whole family.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, we had like an exhibition in Horsens, our hometown, and it's still running actually. And she's also pretty much behind that, you know. So yes, I met a lot of old band members as well that I haven't seen for 20 years, or 25 years, or something like that. That was cool. It was great. It was cozy, absolutely. So we might meet again at some point. I hope so. It was funny.
Actually, I met her at the Stockholm show, and she said that she has a plan to bring you back together when the exhibition is closing.
Yeah.
Some around September maybe.
Well, I think it's running until August, September or something like that. You know, I don't know if everybody can get together. You know, but if I'm home, I'll attend for sure.
Right. Speaking about Pretty Maids a little bit, we just went it through before the interview started. But Pretty Maids in Finland. The earliest memories you have being here with the band, remember still something about that?
Yeah, that is the first time I was in Finland with Black Sabbath in August '83. I remember that. And we were here a couple of times in the '80s, you know, with Purple as well. We supported Purple in '87, and we've been here. Besides that, I just remember it because I remember the boat ride from Stockholm to Turku and getting shit-faced drunk, you know.
Heavy stuff.
Fucking hell, we were so fucking party, you know. There was one time we drove with our manager back then, and he got drunk on the boat. So when we left the boat, we were stopped by the police, and they actually took his driver's license. So at the same time, he had Manowar playing in, this is '87, he had Manowar playing in Scandinavia. So we actually ended up riding with them around Scandinavia on their bus because he couldn't drive. So, there's something about Finland and alcohol, I don't know. Had my share yesterday as well.
Then you also played a show in Finland, in Helsinki, during the Syndicate tour.
I think we did, yeah. I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time. Yeah, we did, for sure.
Yeah, and then there was a long break.
Yeah.
I remember that a couple of years ago, you played in Helsinki like 2 times within the past 10 years, I guess.
Yeah. I think first time we were here was after Syndicate. I don't think we were here for something like 18 years or something like that. That was a long gap.
Yeah.
I think the first time was in 2010 on the Pandemonium tour. And we did Helsinki and Oulu.
Yeah.
And then we were here, last time was 2018, I think, you know,
Yeah.
the last thing, I think it was just Helsinki, actually.
That was actually the last tour you ever did with the band.
That was the last, it was. Yeah, it was, actually. Did a couple of festivals in the summer of 2019, but it was still on the Kingmaker tour. That ran for 2 or 3 years, more on-off, you know, so.
Yeah. So, that was about the past. About the future, like I said, you have plenty of shows coming up with Avantasia, and then you have plans for the more solo shows.
For now. I mean, that's how it is right now. As I said, I mean, it's you know.
3 months.
Yeah, kind of. You know, it's difficult for me to plan too much, you know. But all I can say is I would love to go out and play more shows and stuff, and I hope I will. There's also a couple of gigs in Japan. You know, it's always been a good market for Pretty Maids, and probably is for me too. Well, I know it is because the solo albums did very good in Japan. So I'd love to go there as well, you know. Mm-hmm. But everything is. I mean, traveling is so complicated for me today because I gotta have a clean record in my journals for like 8 weeks. Otherwise, they will not insure me. So for insurance reasons, it's complicated. I have to seek permission from something called SOS Denmark every time I'm traveling out of the country. Because if something happens, you know, I got to pay for it myself, for hospitals and maybe the way back with the plane. You know, it's fucking expensive. You know.
So actually, speaking about those insurances, how much in advance they gave you? Like, is it like 3 weeks, 3 months? You mean how much they will give you the kind of insurance?
Well, insurance, they just got to, they go in and check my journals at the hospital, at the oncologists, you know. If they look good for the last 8 weeks and there's been no complaints from my side or something like that, I'm good to go. But if I say I got headaches or something, I got severe pain damage, if I tell them and they see that, they are like, well, where you going and that kind of stuff. I'm sure I wouldn't be permitted to travel to Japan, for instance, you know, but if I'm going to Germany or Sweden or something like that, it'd probably be okay, you know. But it depends.
Yeah. But it's like every time you go abroad, you have to kind of ask.
Yeah, now for this summer, I said if everything is good, I can go wherever I want to go, you know. But then I'm going to get scanned again in August, and then you start all over again, you know. If everything looks good, I should in principle be okay to tour in September, October, you know.
Okay.
But if there's anything wrong, of course, I won't tour anyway. So, I mean,
yeah,
that's the conditions.
So in your own head, how does it feel? How long you think that you can carry on?
Well, I'm happy every day I open up my eyes, you know. I mean, that's just the conditions of my life now. I mean, this cancer thing is a totally game changer, not just for me, but for family too, you know. And it's, you know, it's there 24/7 in your subconscious, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel good. It's not that I'm whining all the time or anything like that. I just go ahead, you know, try to live my life as I used to, as much as I can, you know. And that's it, you know. So it's not that I'm sitting, I got half a year left or what. I don't know how long time I'm gonna. I'm not terminal, but I just take it as it comes, really.
Yeah. But
that's all I can do.
In a positive thinking, there are a couple of cases. There are guys who have been in the same situation, like, you know, 10 years, 15 years, and they still keep on running.
Yeah. But I mean, they haven't said. I mean, if you read the statistics, it's like 4 or 5% alive after 5 years. That's not really good. I'm on my 3rd year now, so I try not to think about that, you know. So I just, as I say, I take it as it comes.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask. How much do you keep on thinking about that all the time?
Yeah, but you think about it, as I said, it's in your subconscious, because you get reminded every day. You see, now I'm doing an interview with you and we're talking about it, you know, so I can never really let it go.
Yeah.
I might meet somebody at the grocery store, hey, how are you doing, and stuff like that. I, you know, go on the internet, somebody died of cancer, you know, you get constantly reminded about it. So that, of course, is like, it's a bit of a dagger hanging above your head, you know. But it is what it is, you know, and I can't change that. It's just the way it is. I'm alive.
So after you got diagnosed, did you have to change something in your lifestyle after that?
Yeah. Yes and no. I still enjoy having a couple of beers and stuff like that. You know, maybe I shouldn't, but I mean, I also got to live. You know, I don't smoke anymore, of course. Yeah, but no, it didn't change a hell of a lot. There's certain things I can't do because I can't lift heavy things with my arm and shoulder and stuff like that, you know. But besides that, I'm basically seriously trying to live life to the full, you know, as much as I can.
Yeah.
But of course, it's, as I said, in your subconscious all the time.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So, I think we went through most of the stuff. I wanted to ask, do you have something you want to add?
No, just happy that I'm here in Finland again, and I'm happy to be able to perform for a Finnish audience again. And I hope I can go to Finland at some point with my own band.
That will
doing
be
my
great.
own thing. That would be
I have
great.
to tell Chris about it.
Yeah.
As you know, we are good friends.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that, you know, with my band, they're all in other bands. You know, for instance, the bass player Pontus is actually playing here today with a band called Dampf or something like that.
And he's with King Diamond as well.
He's in King Diamond, and Rob is doing other things. Rob Marcello, the guitarist. You know,
Yeah.
those two guys are in other bands, and it's kind of a puzzle to get everybody gathered, you know. So you got to be in time and say, can you do this in October? Please block these 2 weeks, stuff like that, you know. So It's a little complicated.
Yeah, but I would say that keep that lineup. It's really cool.
It's a great lineup. It's great musicians, and I'm happy to have met Pontus and Rob. You know, the other guys are all Pretty Maids members. So I knew those guys, and it's good to see them again and play with them again as well. You know, it's great guys.
Right. Well, maybe I have to try find a day when you're closing down the exhibition and try to come there, because I have never met in person like the long guy and Alan.
Yeah, he'll be there for sure. He lives in the city, so I think a lot of the old band members.
Actually the guys, the original guys, are still living in Horsens?
I think two of them. I know that Alan Owen, the old keyboard player, is living there, and Alan DeLong is living there. And well, some of the old band members, John, the first bass player and stuff like that, is still living there. Apart from that, I don't know where the drummer is. Phil Moorhead, who was playing in the old albums. I have no clue where he is today, actually. Nobody knows. So
we have to find out.
We'll find out, yeah.